trained in chemotherapy administration. They offer a chemotherapy and infusion therapy suite. Care and Medicaid services. Treating cancer close to home can make all the difference.
Since 1956, your local hometown station and the home of the Breds and Phillies. WCYN, 1400 AM and 101.3 FM.
All righty, back here on the hilltop, the starting five for Moore has been introduced, and right now the beginning quintet for the Thoroughbreds being introduced as well, as we're just moments away from the start of tonight's game. So we said the fifth of the day here at the Joe Cochran State Farm Insurance Invitational Basketball Tip-Off Classic. That is a load of words. Harrison County 2-0, Louisville Moore 0-2, as we're just about to get started. Jumping center for Louisville Moore will be Bruce Sweeney, their 6'7 junior. Across the midcourt stripe, Caden Custard. Harrison County in their grayish uniforms with the maroon numbers. Make that Moore in their dark blue uniforms with Mustangs in block letters across the front. So we're just about to get this game underway. The tap is up and controlled by Moore. In the backcourt, Harrison with the basketball. Harrison comes across the timeline on the right side, gets it on the far hash mark to Hall in front of the stable. Hall lobs it down low to Sweeney. His shot's no good, but coming in for the rebound and putback will be Jonathan Thomas, and that will give Moore an early 2-0 lead as we play just half a minute here. Into the front court with the basketball come the Thoroughbreds. Underneath, a wide open Garrett Wilson catches a pass from Custard and lays it in. So Garrett ties the game at 2-2. In the front court with the basketball come the Moore Mustangs. Up top, Harrison lobs the ball to the top of the key to Thomas. Thomas gives the ball to Hall. Hall to the right elbow. Underneath the basket finds Sweeney. Puts up a shot. It's no good. Rebound being bounced around and finally corralled by Jonathan Thomas. And going in there is Thomas who makes the shot. 4 points for Jonathan Thomas. 4-2 Mustang lead. With the basketball out top is Caden. He'll have his dribble knocked away from behind by one of the Mustangs. At El Paracutan, daily lunch specials and the always popular buffet are calling your name. Plan a visit soon to the Harrison Square and enjoy a meal at El Paracutan, or whatever it is that Trent calls it now, which is the proper pronunciation. Inbounds pass will come to Harris. Elijah, against the suffocating defense of Forney, gets the ball out top to Grubb. Grubb in between the circles, fires it inside. It's going to be knocked away and stolen by the Mustangs. Up the floor comes Harrison to the basket. Nobody cuts him off, and he makes the easy bucket. Davon Harrison puts his team up by a score of 6-2, but quickly the other way, Garrett Wilson is able to make a shot to get his team back to within 2 at 6-4, as this is going to be a track meet, folks. Now we're going to have a foul called on Custard for over-guarding. First foul of the game on either team. Just to the right of the Harrison County bench, Hall will try to get the ball in bounds. Hall puts it into the backcourt to Harrison. Harrison recrosses the timeline where he's met by Smiley defensively in front of the Harrison bench. Bounce pass down on the block to Hall. Tries to pass it off. It's going to get loose and picked up by Mason Smiley. Smiley coast to coast. Reverse layup. No good, however. And the rebound comes out high and picked up by Thomas. Now a pass to Sweeney. Puts up a shot. No good, but he's fouled. And will go to the line for 2. Foul's going to be assessed to Braxton Grubb. That'll be Grubb's first. So heading to the line will be Sweeney. 6-4, more leads. We've played a couple of minutes here on the hilltop. First of 3 straight home games for the Thoroughbreds. First free throw by Sweeney is good. His first point of the day puts his team up 7-4. Second free throw upcoming. And he's every bit of that 6'7" he's got listed on the roster. second try is going to be off the mark, and on the rebound, we're going to have a foul called, and it's going to be against the Mustangs. And now the officials getting together. There were a couple of players that could have been assessed to, and I think they're trying to decide which one will get the foul call. And now it's going to be called on Thomas. That'll be Jonathan Thomas's first. So get that out of the way. Harrison County facing man-to-man full court pressure. Custard trying to get the ball inbounds, finds Smiley. Smiley back to Custard. Custard in the front court. We got numbers 3-on-1. Pass down low to Grubb, who lays it up and in, and he is fouled. And Braxton will have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. That was a good job by Grubb, getting that ball out of his hands quickly and able to make the shot for the old-fashioned three try. 5:55 on the clock. Grubb on the season is 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Makes the free throw, give him 3 points. Harrison County draws even at 7-7. Into the front court with the basketball will come Harrison, where he's picked up by Smiley. Harrison goes past Smiley in the paint, puts up an 8-foot runner that's no good. Rebound, though, picked up by Thomas. His putback is no good. And on the shooting relay, Thomas again. This time he makes a shot. So we just kept giving him opportunities, and eventually Thomas found the hole, which will put his Mustangs back out on top, 9-7. 5:26 left to go here in this first quarter of play. Harris with the basketball in the front court inside the center circle to the far hash mark. He will find Wilson. Wilson in between the circles to Grubb. To the right side, he'll find Smiley. Now in front of the bench for more. Elijah Harris has it, but he's cut off on the baseline, gets it back in the corner to Custard. Custard pushes his way to the block, forces up a shot, no good, but a foul is going to be called on Deshaun Hall. That will be Hall's first personal foul. They'll send Custard to the line. Caden has been to the line more times than the rest of the team combined, and is 19 out of 24 for 79%, looking for his first point of the day. It's on the way and good. Draws Harrison County back to within one at 9-8 with 5:02 on the clock here in the first quarter. Second free throw for Caden is good as well. And Harrison County once again ties the score, this time at 9-9. In the front court come the Mustangs quickly. Thomas, or make that Harrison, gets it up top to Sweeney. Sweeney to the right side. Ball knocked away, but Thomas is there to pick it up. He'll get it into the corner to Forney. Forney backs up for a three-point try. No good, short. And Elijah Harris comes away with the rebound. In the front court to Smiley. The ball knocked away, but Smiley picks it up. He'll get it into the corner to Harris. And then Harris tries a pass. It's going to be taken away. Mustangs going all the way the other way. Shot is no good. Rebound brought down by Deshaun Hall, whose three-point try is no good. But there's Thomas again for a couple of offensive rebounds. And his second putback try is good. He already has 6 rebounds here in the first quarter of play. 11-9 your score with 4:11 left to go. Coming in the ball game for the first time for Harrison County will be Jaden Boyers. Boyers, a 6'5 junior who is yet to score this season. They'll kind of even things out height-wise for Sweeney. Full court pressure being applied by the Mustangs. Custard's pass intended for Harris is knocked out of bounds by Forney, but the Thoroughbreds will maintain possession. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran with State Farm is there. Get a new home or auto quote with Joe by calling 859-234-3813. Joe always supports the Breds and Phillies. In the front court, Custard tries a pass down low. It's picked up by Boyers and put up and in. Jaden makes his presence known early as he ties the score at 11-11. 3:44 left to go in this first quarter of play. We've already had 4 ties. With the basketball now, Harrison in between the circles, goes to the top of the key. Now to the elbow. Now backs it back out again to get the ball to Thomas. Thomas backdoor cut to Forney. His lob shot from 10 is no good. And coming down with the rebound this time will be Garrett Wilson. Wilson now tries a pass. It's knocked away and stolen by the Mustangs. Going up and in with it is going to be Harrison. Harrison will put his team back out on top by 2, 13-11. With 3:07 on the clock here in the first quarter. With the basketball in the front court comes Smiley. Finds Custard in between the circles. Pass to the right side to Harris for three. No good, too long. Long rebound, though, comes all the way out to Smiley. His three try is good. There's your first up wall three-pointer for Harrison County by Mason Smiley, and that will give Harrison County their first lead of the ball game. Into the front court with the basketball will come Thomas. His leaner is good, and he's fouled, and that will put the visiting Mustangs back out on top. 10 points already for Jonathan Thomas as he makes the score 15-14 and has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. Coming in for more, we've got Ellis Leslie, a 5'10 junior. Also entering the contest, Jerry Bartlett, a 6'4 senior. Going to the line to try to get this old-fashioned three will be Thomas. He has 10 points and 6 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Free throw by Thomas is up and no good. Rebound batted around. Oh, and picked up by the new guy in the ball game, Bartlett, who puts it in the hole. Jerry Bartlett, Johnny on the spot, puts his team up 17-14. In the front court with the basketball, Custard, his team now down by 3. That pass to Harris. Now on the wing in front of the Moore bench, he'll find Wilson. Ball knocked away from Garrett, and the loose ball picked up by the Mustangs. Outlet pass in the front court is laid up and in by Leslie. It's Leslie's first points. And right now, the Moore Mustangs have their biggest lead of the ball game so far at 19-14. They've scored 5 in a row. Make that 6 in a row, excuse me. With the basketball, Harris gives the ball to Wilson. Wilson in the paint. Falls down. Loose ball is going to be picked up by Bartlett. Now a steal by Harrison County on a nice play by Smiley. In the front court, Custard from the block forces up a shot. It's no good, but he's fouled. And Caden will be going back to the line for 2. Going to call the foul on Thomas, and that's 2 on Thomas. That's huge. Forces Coach McGee to get someone off the bench. As Custard goes to the line, he's 2 for 2 from the line for his only points so far. 19-14, Harrison down by 5, 1:41 left to go in the first quarter. First free throw is no good. Grubb back in for Harrison County. Coming in for Moore will be Montrell Hambrick. Hambrick, a 5'10 junior, as Thomas will have to have a seat. And now is the time for Harrison County to make some hay with Thomas out of the game. Second free throw for Custard upcoming. It's on the way, and this it is no good. Rebound pulled down by Forney. In the front court, Forney looks over the defense, moves to the left elbow, and now we're going to have an illegal screen called against Bartlett, which will give the ball back to Harrison County. Do you have a big group to feed? The Beast Pizza is great for birthdays and parties. Just dial 235-7627. That's 235-SNAP. Harris with the basketball facing full court pressure. Looking, gets the ball into Custard. Caden being guarded very closely by Hall, brings the ball up the floor and into the front court. Over on the right side finds Harris. Head fake, he'll get it back out in front to Custard once again. Caden calls out play number 1 as he backs up near the timeline on the near side of the midcourt circle. Being harassed out there by Bartlett, gets the ball to Grubb on the wing. Grubb skip pass to the near side to Harris. Harris goes down to the block. His shot is blocked out of bounds. Thoroughbreds will maintain possession with 1:06 on the clock, trailing 19-14. Smiley will trigger that inbounds pass. Smiley looking, gets the ball to Harris in the corner. It's a dangerous place to get him. Gets it on the wing to Boyers. Boyers back to Custard. Custard steps inside the arc. Now goes down to the block. Off balance hook shot rolls off the flange, but Custard is going to be fouled and will go to the line. Foul is going to be called on Bartlett, and that's Bartlett's second personal foul. So he'll be coming out here in a sec, I would think. Custard 2 for 4 from the line. First free throw by the senior is on the way and good this time. For Harris, and Damon LaRue checks in. LaRue, a 6-foot senior, averaging a point and a half a game. Also, Sweeney comes back in for Moore. With 56 seconds on the clock here in the first period. The second free throw for Custard is good. And the Thoroughbreds now trail once again by just 3 points, 19-16. In the front court with the basketball is Harrison. Gets it on the near side to Hall. Hall races into the paint, splits the defense. His shot's no good, but he's going to be fouled. And he'll be going to the line now. Braxton Grubb picks up his second personal foul at the line. Hall, this will be his first trip to the line tonight. Meanwhile, a mini conference between Coach McGee and the 4 players not on the line. Hall's first free throw is good. His first point of the game. Puts his team back up 20-16. Second free throw upcoming with 39 seconds left as Garrett Wilson checks back in for the Breds. Hall's second free try is also good, extending his team's lead back out to 5 at 21-16, matching Moore's biggest lead of the ball game. Custard walking the ball up the floor where he's met by Hall. Gets it in the front court to Wilson. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Back to Custard on the near side of the midcourt circle. Custard gets the ball on the far side of the circle to Wilson. Back to Custard this side. Back to Wilson. Wilson in the corner finds Harris. Harris lobs the ball up top to Custard in between the circles. To the left wing to Garrett Wilson for 3. Yes! Another Canuck three-pointer off of the assist from Caden Custard. Gets Harrison County back within 2 at 21-19. 5 seconds left. Racing to the basket and laying it up and in will be Hall. And that is the way that the first quarter will end with your score. Moore 23, Harrison County 19. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. And what has been an entertaining game so far, despite the fact that Harrison County trails 23-19. We had 4 ties and a couple of lead changes, but right now it's the Mustangs in control with a 5-point lead. They've twice led by as many as this number. Starting things out here in the second quarter, Harrison County will have the basketball. LaRue will inbound it, probably to Caden Custard. And it is Caden. Custard across the timeline, gets the ball on the far hash mark to Wilson, now to LaRue next to him. LaRue lobs the ball in the corner to Harris. Harris looking for help, dribbles it out to the elbow, now lobs it to Custard, who has the ball taken away from him from behind, and here come the Mustangs. A bad shot by Harrison, but he's luckily going to have that ball touched by a Harrison County Thoroughbred. And now a timeout called by Harrison County. It looks as though it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here, but the Mustangs are so They've been here for farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit efarmcredit.com. Out of the timeout, the Mustangs will have the ball. Harrison 2-0. little more 0-2. But right now the Mustangs in control. From his own baseline, Hall will trigger the inbounds pass. Hall gets the ball from the official. Now trying to find someone, finds Harrison in the corner. He'll fire a three, air ball. Offside rebound picked up by Garrett Wilson, and here come the Breds in a hurry. Custard to Wilson on the left side. Wilson in the paint, floats to the basket, dumps it down low to Boyers, and as Boyers goes up for the shot, he's going to be fouled. That was a nifty pass that time by Garrett Wilson. Foul is going to be on Hambrick. That'll be Hambrick's first. And put Boyers on the line for the first time in his varsity career. First free throw by number 21 is perfect. That's the way you like to have it. Smiley back in for Harrison County. Forney back in for the Mustangs. 23-20 after that first free throw try by Boyers. The second one is very short and will come down into the hands of Sweeney in the front court with the basketball of the Mustangs. Forney drifts to the right, now reverses back to the left. Now gets a pass to Hall, who goes into the paint. His layup is going to be good. Deshaun Hall with 6 first half points. And Harrison County finds themselves down again by 5 at 25-20. Out in front with the basketball is Wilson. He'll get it between the circles to Custard. Custard at the elbow. In the corner finds Smiley for three. Ooh, air ball. Way too long. Rebound, though, brought down on the offside by LaRue. Here's a pass to Wilson. Gets it in the hands of Boyers, who can't make the shot. And once again, it's Sweeney who will come away with the rebound. And we're going to have a travel call as Sweeney tried to get out of traffic. Harris will check back in now for the Breds. Cynthia and Hardee's want you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South. They've got the best burgers in town. That's Hardee's in Cynthiana. Quickly off the bench, but not able to come into the game in this dead ball will be Thomas. Inbounds pass will come to Custard. Custard at the top of the key. Now looks around, finds Smiley on this side of the floor. Back up top to Custard, to the left side to Harris, long range. Harris takes a couple of dribbles, being harassed out there by Leslie. Now almost lost the ball, but gets it to Wilson, and they're going to call a 5-second call on Harris. That's now 7 turnovers for Harrison County in the ball game. Now Thomas will check back into the contest. Remember, Thomas, before getting into bad foul trouble, 10 points and 6 rebounds in the first quarter. And right now, the Mustangs have the ball and the lead at 25-20. 6:22 left in the first half with the basketball. Forney looks to his left, dribbles to his right, ball's knocked off his knee. Loose ball picked up by the Breds. Up the floor comes Wilson. He'll have his dribble back tapped away from behind before. Oh, no. They're about to give the ball to Moore, but it's Harrison County's basketball. And so they wisely, after the officials get together, reverse the call. But, oh, man, that just shows the quickness of the Mustangs. Garrett's not a slow guy, and they caught up to him before he got 10 feet away from the basket. From his own baseline, Smiley looking to get the ball in bounds. We'll find Wilson. Wilson backs up. Thomas goes up and under, has a shot blocked from behind, and coming up with the rebound is Hambrick. In the front court with the basketball, a pull-up jumper by Forney on the baseline is no good, and Garrett Wilson will come away with the rebound for the Thoroughbreds. He'll give the ball to Custard, who comes into the front court. Custard nearly double teamed, now goes to the elbow, to the block, to the glass. His shot's no good, but he's going to be fouled, and will go to the line for 2. Going to call that foul on Hall. That'll be Deshaun Hall's second. So for Moore, Hall, Thomas, and Bartlett, each with 2 fouls apiece. Back to the line goes Custard. He's 4 for 6 so far in the ball game. 5:44 left to go in the first half. Harrison still trailing 25-20. They've never led in this ball. Well, we have led twice in this ball game. I take that back to very early in the game. First free throw by Custard is good. Coming back in, LaRue for Harrison County. Harrison comes back in for Moore. Harrison deficit now by 4, 25-21. At 5:44 on the clock here in the first half. Second free throw for Custard. Bounces high off the iron, but comes straight down through the hoop. And the Thoroughbreds are back to within 3 at 25-22. With the basketball, Harrison steps across the timeline in the middle of the floor, directing some traffic from out there. Now drifts to the right side, long range. Between the legs dribble, takes him inside the arc into the paint. His shot put up, no good. Then Garrett Wilson is there for another rebound, his fourth of the night. LaRue nearly lost the ball, and now they're going to say that when he did tap it, it was standing on the sideline. That makes 8 turnovers for the Breds. And now a timeout will be called by Moore, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But here in the second quarter, with 5:21 left, Harrison County trailing 25-22. Well, if you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you're in. Visit them at canuplaw.com. Breds will be back in action here on the Hilltop on Tuesday when they'll face Lexington Dunbar. The Bulldogs, one of the better teams traditionally in Lexington, will give us a good run for our money, I'm sure. Meanwhile, the Phillies, their next game on Tuesday will be in the Class 2A sectional tournament down at Boyle County High School. They'll play the host Rebels in that particular ball game. Ed Lewis will have all the action of the girls game on Tuesday on our app. Inbounds pass out of the timeout comes to Harrison, and as Harrison tries to keep his dribble as he split the defense, travels. So that's now 6 turnovers for Moore, as they've turned the ball over 3 times in their last 8 trips down the court, which has kept this score low and Harrison County in the ball game. Across the timeline comes Custard. Lobs the ball to the foul line to Wilson. Back up top to Custard for 3. Good! Another Canup Law 3-pointer for Harrison County. Give Garrett Wilson the assist on that as Harrison County has tied the score at 25-25. Now a loose ball on the floor goes out of bounds. And it was last touch, they're going to say, by the Mustangs. So Harrison County a chance to take the lead this time down the floor. Harrison County's last lead came when it was 14-13. With the ball in the front court comes Custard. Custard trying to get away from the defense of Forney. Gets it on the right side to Harris. Harris moves inside the arc with the ball fake. Now gives the ball to Smiley. Smiley to the left side to LaRue. DeMond at the left elbow to Wilson. Spins around. Wilson goes to the block, to the glass, and it's good. As Harrison County has retaken the lead in this ball game at 27-25. 4.5 left to go in this first half. With the basketball in the front court, Thomas gets the ball to Harrison in the paint. A runner from 8 is going to be off the flange, no good. And coming away with the rebound is Garrett Wilson, who has 5 boards here in the game. Wilson in the front court on the wing, finds Custer, goes baseline, skip pass to LaRue, now to Smiley for 3. Good! Another Canup Law 3-pointer for Harrison County, the second of the day for Mason Smiley, and the Thoroughbreds have built their largest lead of the game at 30-25. In the front court come the Mustangs. Forney, baseline 12-footer, good. That stops the bleeding, at least temporarily. As Harrison County now up by a score of 30-27. 3:45 left to go in the first half, and now a steal by Moore. In the front court, pass goes down low to Thomas. Loose ball on the floor as it's tapped away from behind, and we're going to have a jump ball called. Possession arrow will keep the ball in the hands of the Thoroughbreds as Jaden Boyers is about to check in. Stockyards Bank and Trust has competitive home equity loans and home equity lines of credit for you. Ask a lender to learn more. Stockyards Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Oh, a double foul was called on that. Jaden Boyers picking up the foul for Harrison County.
Well, anyone is taking pictures
from his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Hambrick. He'll get it into the hands of Harrison. Harrison, a bounce pass down low, knocked away by Boyers, and it's going to be off of Bruce Sweeney. So a good defensive play that time by Jaden. With the basketball, Harrison County. Custard inbounds it to Harris. Full court man pressure by the Mustangs. 3:22 left to go in the first half. Harrison leading by 3. With the basketball now, Custard in between or behind the back dribble, gets it to Harris in front of the Mustang bench, up top to Custard. He'll put up the open three, try good. Another Knupwall three-pointer. Second of the night for Caden Custard. Harrison County's lead grows to 33-27. In the front court with the basketball, a steal by LaRue. DeMond in the front court, goes to the baseline. His shot off the glass is good. Nice kiss off the glass that time by DeMond. And Harrison County owns its largest lead at 35-27. Full timeout. We'll take it along with the Mustangs. 2:52 left to go in the first half. Your score, Harrison County 35, Moore 27. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports.
Reds and go Breds. Come down and see the boys.
All righty, back here at the Hilltop. Over the last 4 minutes, Harrison County has outscored Moore by a measure of 15-2 to take this 8-point lead. See how Moore adjusts to this Harrison County run. Across the timeline comes Harrison. Goes in front of the Thoroughbred bench. Now reverses back out, closely guarded by Smiley. Now goes into the paint, throws the ball away. Custard with the steal. 9 turnovers for Moore. Custard goes baseline, cut off, skip pass up top to LaRue. DeMond goes into the paint. Now dishes it in the corner to Harris. Harris now drives baseline, stops, ball's knocked away, and a loose ball picked up by Moore. In the front court, here's a pass to Sweeney. Sweeney's shot is good, and he's fouled. And Bruce will have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. So he gets his team back to within 6 at 35-29, stopping that 15-2 Harrison County run. Be an old-fashioned three-point try for Sweeney, who is 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. 2:14 on the clock now. Sweeney's free throw is on the way and good. Mustangs back to within 5 at 35-30. With the ball up the floor comes Custard. Calls out the play on the opposite side of the midcourt circle. Being tracked by Deshaun Hall. He'll get it near the far hash mark to Smiley. Back up top to Wilson, long range. Wilson to the right side. This time finds Harris. Harris looking for someone to pass to. Finds Custard in front of the Mustang bench. He'll fire a contested three. No good. Harris, though, is there for the rebound. His putback is no good. And the ensuing rebound is going to be pulled in by Leslie. And going up and getting the basket will be Davon Harrison to make the score 35-32. 1:35 left. Here's an air ball on a three-point attempt by LaRue. Rebound picked up by Moore. As going down will be Harrison again to narrow the gap to 35-34. 1:18 on the clock. Harrison County's one-time 8-point lead has been shrunk to 1. 7 unanswered points have been scored by Moore. With the basketball is Harrison County. In the corner, here's a three. Good by Elijah Harris. Another Knupwall three-pointer. That's Elijah's first points of the night. Gets his team back up 38-34 with 50 seconds left to go in this quarter. But now a foul called on Harrison County on defense. Foul is going to be on Custard. That'll be Caden's second. Going to the line will be Bartlett. This will be Bartlett's first trip to the line tonight. With 50 seconds on the nose left here in the first half. First free throw is good by Bartlett. as Boyers checks in for Harrison County. 38-35 now the score, with another free throw upcoming for the aforementioned Bartlett. Senior's second free throw bounces out, and Boyers is there for the rebound for the Thoroughbreds. Into the front court. Here's a pass to Smiley, down on the block to Boyers. Ball fake, head fake, gets it to Wilson now on the opposite block. Wilson, ball fake, gets the ball to Boyers. He can't control it, and it'll go out of bounds. Coming in now for Moore will be Sean Anderson, a 5'9" eighth grader, making his first appearance in the game. Also, Bartlett returns. 35 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Harrison County leading by 3. They've led ever since that 15-2 run earlier in the quarter. And now the official scorer, Larry White, who's been doing this now for 50 years, is calling one of the officials over for a verification of what was going on. And it's people checking in and out, and I think that quite possibly Bartlett checked in when he wasn't allowed to yet. In any case, they get it wrapped up, and now there's just 5 Mustangs on the floor. Inbound pass comes to Harrison. Harrison up the floor, gets it into the front court, guarded by Harris. Almost traveled. Now gets the ball on the far side to Hall. Hall on the baseline, gets it back up near the timeline again. Garrett Wilson's right on top of him. And now, this over and back. Yep. Turnover by Moore's Deshaun Hall as he got too close to that midcourt line and stepped over it. 10 turnovers now for Moore. Harrison County has 11. That just shows the quality of defense that's played in the game here tonight. 15 seconds on the clock. Harrison County with the basketball. Thoroughbreds looking a little bit confused offensively on what it is they want to run. Harris from the midcourt stripe will inbounds the ball. Gets it to Custard. Custard into the front court on the right side. Now goes down to the block, to the glass. His shot is good, and he's fouled. And Caden has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play with 8 seconds left. Nice drive that time by the Harrison County senior. And a chance for the old-fashioned 3. As I said, just 8 seconds on the clock. Custard at the line tonight is 6 of 8 and has 14 points. Came in averaging 26. Free throw up and good by Caden. As LaRue checks back in. Harrison County's lead back to 5 at 41-36. They led by as many as 8. 41-35. Inbounds pass will come this time to Hall. Ball knocked away. Loose ball picked up by Harris. His 30-footer at the buzzer is no good. And that is the way that the first half will end with your score. Harrison County 41. The Moore Mustangs, they've got 35. Exciting first half, that's for sure. We invite you to stay tuned now for our halftime show, which is brought to you by Joe Cochran out at State Farm. We'll go over all the scoring and stats from this first half of play in the 5th and final game of this year's Joe Cochran at State Farm Tip-Off Basketball Classic. So once again, your halftime score, Harrison County 41, Moore Mustangs 35. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports.
$100 count slim wire micro dot LED lights, $5.99. 16 pack of AA or AAA Energizer batteries, $14.99. An 18-gallon storage tote, $8.99. A 10 pack of hand warmers, $5.99. As seen on TV, Battery Daddy, $14.99. And stuff the stockings with a 10-ounce lump of coal soap from Duke Cannon Supply, $5.99. Those bargains and a whole lot more at Van Hook Hardware, in downtown Cynthiana.
There's just something about home. Whether it's getting home at the end of the day, being greeted by your dog or kids, or sitting on the front porch visiting with friends and neighbors, there's no place like home. We love hometown community events and the special people who make this region home to each of us. That's the background to Hinton Mills Homegrown Feed. Hinton Mills Feed is made fresh in our meals daily and sourced with many ingredients grown by local farmers. Our feed is made with care by familiar faces, especially for you, our friends at home. Fresh, local, Hinton Mills.
Let's get real. It's not about doing what you're supposed to do. It's about doing what you want to do. At Maysville Community and Technical College, you'll find better, faster ways to do just that. Become a nurse in just 2 years, or get a certificate in a high-demand field in just a few months. You can even get the first 2 years of college out of the way for way less money. Visit maysville.kctcs.edu. College for the real world. College for your world.
Technicians. Here they come now. Look out! I don't think these guys are going to work out. Mr. Sorrell will have no stooges on his payroll. Well, maybe one. People you think you know, service you know you can trust. Sorrell Home Medical Equipment in Cynthiana on West Pleasant.
Feed your farm with Southern States Co-op in Cynthiana. Whether you need feed for dogs, chickens, pigs, rabbits, horses, or cattle, your local Southern States team can help you find the best nutrition program for all of the animals on the farm and around the house. Stop by Southern States on US 27 south of Cynthiana or call 234-2161. That's 234-2161. Curbside service is available.
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop. Harrison County leading the Moore Mustangs by a score of 41-35. Exciting first half that saw Harrison County fall behind by 5 points in the first quarter, but then went on, actually in the second quarter, was still down by 4 early in that particular quarter, but a three-pointer by the Thoroughbreds got them started. They went on what would end up being a 15-2 run, which at the time put them up by as many as 8 points. And although the Moore Mustangs scored the next 7 in a row to get back to within 1, Harrison County was able to extend the lead back out to 6 here at the break. Taking a look at the individual numbers for you here in the first half. First for Moore, they're led in scoring by Jonathan Thomas, who had 10 points and 6 rebounds in the first quarter before being saddled with foul trouble. And when he came back, he just wasn't the same guy. Also scoring for Moore, Devon Harris has 8, 6 points for Deshaun Hall, 4 for Bruce Sweeney, 3 for Jerry Bartlett, and then 2 each for both Jacob Forney and Ellis Leslie. Also playing but not scoring, Montrell Hambrick and Sean Anderson. Meanwhile, for Harrison County, Caden Custard leads the way with 15, including a couple of three-pointers. 9 points for Garrett Wilson, who's played very hard tonight, as 1 three-pointer as well. 6 points on the night so far for Mason Smiley on a couple of trays. 3 points each for Elijah Harris, Braxton Grubb, and Jaden Boyers as well. And rounding out the scoring, Damon LaRue came off the bench for a couple of points to add to Harrison County's lead, which is right now half a dozen at 41-35. We'll take another break, come back, and tell you all about the team stats. Right after this, you're listening to the Joe Cochran at State Farm halftime show on WCYN Sports.
Breathe easier, Central Kentucky. The healthcare professionals of Harrison Memorial Hospital want you to know that world-class detection and treatment of lung disease is here. Not only do they offer the only full-time pulmonologist in the local area, but HMH also provides low-dose lung screenings to detect cancer in its earliest stages. Should lung cancer be detected, pulmonologist Dr. Shanad Anangi is here to diagnose. Dr. Anangi and the staff also treat other chronic lung disorders, such as asthma and emphysema. And Harrison Memorial Hospital has been designated a lung cancer screening center by the American College of Radiology. As one of only 5 hospitals in Kentucky to earn a 5-star quality rating from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, they provide medical treatment based on what you need.
Okay, back at
Harrison Memorial Hospital. Now that's what we call a breath of fresh air.
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County up by a score of 41-35. Taking a look at the team stats here in the first half. Louisville Moore was 15 out of 32. That's 46.9%. They only attempted 3 3-pointers and missed all 3. Meanwhile, Harrison County scorched the nets there for a little while in the first half and ended up the first half 13 out of 20. That's 65%. That's how you get a 6-point lead over a quality opponent. The Breds were even hotter from the outside as they hit 6 of 9 from beyond the perimeter. Moore went to the line 8 times, made 5 for 62.5%, while Harrison County was 9 out of 12 for 75%. Turnovers as it ends up dead even in the first half as both the Thoroughbreds and the Mustangs had 11 turnovers apiece. Rebounding battle though, won by Louisville Moore, 14-9. 7 offensive and 7 defensive rebounds for Moore. They were paced in that department by Jonathan Thomas's half a dozen. He, in fact, of those 6 rebounds he had, 5 were offensive rebounds. Meanwhile, Harrison County just 2 offensive. Of course, remember, we shot 65%. There's not going to be a lot of offensive rebounding being done. 2 offensive and 7 defensive rebounds for the Thoroughbreds. Leading rebounder for our side, Garrett Wilson, who had 5 rebounds in the first half of play. So there's your look at the team stats from tonight's game. Both teams are back out on the floor. We'll be back with the third quarter handoff right after this timeout. Once again, your halftime score, Harrison County 41, Louisville Moore 35. You're listening, or have been listening, to the State Farm at Joe Cochran halftime show on WCYN Sports.
You've heard the saying, slow and steady.
2 minutes, please.
Well, the same concept can apply to long-term investing. Hi, I'm Mark Troxel, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. Investing a little bit at a time on a regular basis can really add up. We call it systematic investing. And though it doesn't guarantee a profit or prevent loss, it is a way to take advantage of market volatility instead of just enduring it. To learn more, stop by my office at 136 East Pike Street, Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
Every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington will be having their cattle sale. Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington is located just off I-75 at exit 120 and has many loading docks. To stay up to date with Bluegrass Stockyards, visit bgstockyards.com. From there, you can view market reports, loads and groups, and you can even watch the auctions online. Once again, visit bgstockyards.com, and don't forget every Monday and Tuesday at 9 a.m., Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington's cattle sale.
Is your tractor getting up there in hours? Are you looking to add a new piece of equipment to your operation? We know that tractors and other farm machinery can last a long time, but financing new takes no time at all with Ag Credit Express. If it's time for new equipment, you can finance it fast and easy with Express. Ask your local dealer about the Express option or visit us at our Paris office, 201 Commerce Drive, or agcreditonline.com.
Sometimes it's good to know that you don't have to drive all over the state to find the building materials you need to repair your home. Tuba floors and nails, paint and brushes and caulk. You know we have the best selection of caulk in town. Also door locks, bolts and screws, treated lumber for your decks. We have quite a few products that no one else in town has. There's too many to mention. Really, I think you'll be surprised. Poindexter Lumber is behind you all the way. That goes for the thoroughbred team and Reds baseball.
Thank you.
No matter the season, we say go Reds and go Breds. Come down and see the boys.
Changes. Custer looking, lobs the ball inbounds to Harris, who was actually a little bit pushed there by Forney. There's no call. He'll get the ball to Custer, who brings the ball across the timeline on the wing on the near side to Smiley. Smiley drives baseline to the block, forces up a shot. It's off the flange, no good. Rebound by Wilson. Garrett goes back up, gets the shot, and he's fouled. And we'll have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. Garrett has been a beast on the boards tonight with 6 rebounds so far in the game. And there got the benefit of a chance at the old-fashioned three as well. Wilson at the line. 0 for over tonight, 1 for 4, and now 1 for 5 overall. Down by 8, 43-35. Mustangs with their first possession of the second half. Here's a pass down low to Sweeney. Sweeney falls down, and as he's falling down, they're going to say the ball was knocked out of his hands by a thoroughbred. I don't see how that's physically possible. But anyway, keep the ball in the hands of the Mustangs. From his own baseline, Hall will trigger the inbounds pass. Deshaun Hall looking, lobs it inside to Sweeney. Sweeney back in the corner to Forney. Forney fires a three, good. Jacob Forney hits the first tray of the night for the visitors from Louisville. Makes the score 43-38. 7:22 left here in the early start of the third quarter. Over on the far sideline in the front court, Harris has the ball. He'll get it into the hands of Custard near the center circle. Caden takes a step, now steps back as he's being guarded very closely by Forney, and now gives the ball up to Harris. Harris to Smiley. Smiley drops the ball, but it's going to be back tapped, they're going to say, into the backcourt, so Smiley is able to hold on to it. He'll get it to Custard once again. Custard in between the circles, has the 5-second count going on, and now he penetrates to the basket, off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled in by Hall. In the front court, Forney, who got ahead of everybody, and Forney makes the layup to give him 7 points and narrow the Harrison County lead to 3 at 43-40 with 6:35 left. And now a foul on the front court on the Mustangs. It's going to be on Forney. It'll be Jacob Forney's first. They'll send Harris to the line. This will be his first trip to the line tonight. On the year, 8 of 11, that's 73%. Has attempted the second most free throws of the Thoroughbreds. First one on the way and off the front of the rim, no good. Second free throw upcoming for the shortstop on the Harrison County baseball team. On the way, and this one will be good to give him 4 and extend Harrison County's lead back out to 2 possessions at 44-40. Here's a pass that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Grubb. Nice hustle that time by Braxton. But the Mustangs do have the ball still. Deshaun Hall from the midcourt stripe right in front of us will inbounds the ball. Gets it into the hands of Forney. Forney double teamed against the midcourt stripe, and now a jump ball. A nice play defensively by Smiley. Mustangs maintain possession, but still good defensive play from the midcourt stripe once again. Forney will try to get the ball in bounds. Forney gets it into Hall, deep in the backcourt. Hall will look over to Coach McGee for the call of the play before recrossing the timeline on the far side of the midcourt circle. Hall goes to the basket. His layup is no good, but he's fouled, and Deshaun Hall will be going to the line for a couple of free throws. Foul's going to be called on Custard, and that's 3 on Caden. Hall 2 for 2 from the line tonight. His team trailing currently 44-40 with 6:10 left in the third quarter. Deep breath taken by the senior Hall. His free throws on the way and good. Makes it 44-41. Said 6:10 left on the clock. Second free throw for number 3 is going to be up and in there. Harrison County's lead back down to 2, 44-42. Inbounds pass comes to Custard. Behind the back dribble as he comes into the front court. Now gets the ball to Wilson. Wilson tries a pass to Grubb. It's knocked away, but Grubb goes and picks up the loose ball and sends it back out inside the center circle to Custard. Caden goes baseline, but cut off down there by Forney. Back out top to Harris. Harris has picked up his dribble. Gets it over to Custard on the far sideline. Caden goes to the baseline, cut off by Hall. Now looking for help and a whistle, and we're going to have a foul called on Moore. That will be on Hall, and that'll be Deshaun Hall's third. He'll be the first Mustang to get as many as 3 personal fouls. See if Coach McGee makes a move. It looks like he is not. From his own baseline, Smiley gets the ball to Wilson, who goes in and makes the layup. Nice pass that time by Mason. 13 points for Garrett Wilson. Harrison's up 46-42. 5:35 left to go in the third quarter. With the basketball up top is Harrison. In the paint between a trio of Harrison County Thoroughbreds. He makes the shot and he's fouled. And Davon Harrison will have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. The foul's on Harris. That'll be Elijah's first. 46-44 presently, but Davon Harrison has a chance to make it a one-point game. If he can make this free throw here, this will be his first trip to the line tonight. Back in the game, Jonathan Thomas returns for the Mustangs, replacing Bartlett, who's getting the talking to from his coaches. Meanwhile, his teammate stands beside and laughs. Free throw is up and no good. Braxton Grubb wades in for the rebound. Custard walking the ball into the front court. His team up by a deuce. 5:19 left to go in the third quarter. Gets the ball to Grubb. Braxton in between the circles, trying to find someone to pass the ball to as he picked up his dribble near the timeline. Custard comes and bails him out. Custard at the right elbow, backs up for a jump shot. Good! Nice body control that time by the senior. Harrison County's lead goes back out to 48-44. 4:58 left to go in the third quarter. Lots of time. With the basketball, Harrison races to the basket and lays it in. He's got a dozen points. Makes it 48-46. As the team's going back and forth scoring here in the third quarter to start things off. Custard across the timeline on the far side, gets the ball to Elijah Harris in front of the stable. Harris gets it to the between the circles to Grubb. Grubb to the left side to Smiley. Smiley inside the arc to the block. His shot put up no good. Rebound on the floor, and it's going to be picked up by Harrison. Harrison races in the front court, puts up a shot no good, but he's going to be fouled by Harris. Now it'll be Elijah's second. So Custard with 3. Harris and Grubb each with 2 apiece. Davon Harrison will now go back to the line where he's 0 for 1. First free throw upcoming for the sophomore. 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore amongst the starting 5 for Moore. Out of the 6th region in Louisville. First one's on the way and good. Damon LaRue checks back in for Harrison County. Coming in once again, Ellis Leslie for the Mustangs. And with this next free throw, Davon Harrison has a chance to tie the game with 4:22 left to go in the third. Harrison's second free throw is on the way and good, and we are knotted up for the 6th time in the ball game, this time at 48-48 in the front court. A steal by Louisville Moore. First turnover of the second half on the Breds. Davon Harrison has it as the Moore Mustangs will try to take the lead. Harrison on the baseline, cut off by Wilson. Now double teamed by Harris, and a whistle and a timeout will be called by Moore as Coach McGee saw his guard about to get into trouble. 4 minutes and 4 seconds left in this third quarter, and we're all knotted up at 48-48. At El Paracutan, daily lunch specials and the always popular buffet are calling your name. Plan a visit soon to the Harrison Square and enjoy a meal at El Paracutan. Paracutan. I think that's what Trent called it. Either way, there's only one place that's got a name even close to that, so you should know what it is. I'm going to guess that my wife and I will be out there for lunch after church tomorrow, because that's what we often do. Alrighty, out of the timeout, the Mustangs with the basketball. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Forney. Forney with 7 points, 5 here in the third quarter. And the officials telling the guys out on the floor to stop pushing and shoving. Forney underneath the basket, tries to get the ball to Sweeney, but it's under Sweeney's hands and will go out of bounds. Not what Coach McGee wanted coming out of the timeout. Although Coach McGee saying that the ball was tapped. But the official saying no, it wasn't. So Harris facing some full court pressure will try to get the ball in bounds. Harris still looking, gets the ball to Custard. And that will back off the defense for the Mustangs. Custard across the timeline, gets to the right side of the arc. Now goes down to the block, puts up a shot partially blocked by Thomas, and the rebound is going to be pulled in by Leslie. Up the floor, here come the Mustangs. Sweeney to the basket, a leaner, good, and he's fouled. And Sweeney has given his team the lead once again, this time at 50-48 and has a chance to make it a 3-point lead. He can make the old-fashioned 3-point play with 3:44 left to go in the third quarter. Coming into the game, Boyers for Harrison County as Damon LaRue will have a seat. Sweeney is 1, make that 2 for 3 from the line. Now has 6 points altogether with that bucket. 50-48, Harrison County led by as many as 8 points at one juncture. Free throw by the junior Sweeney is up and off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound is going to be corralled by Custard. Caden now has his pocket picked, and going in for the slam dunk will be Deshaun Hall, who now has 10 as Harrison County finds themselves behind 52-48. Now going into the paint is Wilson, and he's going to be fouled. Foul's going to be assessed to Sweeney. That'll be Sweeney's first. Just a common foul, so Harrison will inbound the ball. That'll be Smiley from his own baseline. Harrison County down by 4, 52-48. Smiley looking, finds somebody. Somebody get open. Here's a lob to Custard on the near wing. Up top to Boyers. Boyers tries to hand the ball to Harris. It's knocked away, but Elijah goes and gets the loose ball. Harris trying to split the double team, but they close quickly. He'll get it back out top to Custard. This is a very solid Mustang defensive team. Pass to the left side to Harris, long range. He'll fire a long three, short. And the rebound is going to be brought down by Hall. Hall racing into the front court. Now gets the ball into the hands of Leslie. Leslie to Thomas. Thomas now tries to drop the ball off, but he's going to be fouled before he gets to where he wants to throw the ball to. Foul's going to be called on Boyers. That'll be Jaden's second. And they're actually going to say it was a shooting foul, although I think the intent that Thomas had was he was trying to pass the ball off. Now there's going to be some verification from the scorer's table to the officials. And I guess whatever it was has been resolved. Jonathan Thomas 0 for 1 from the line. With 3:01 left to go in the third quarter, Harrison County now trails by 4. They led by 6 at the half. First free throw by Thomas is no good. Damon LaRue returns to the ball game for Harrison. As the second free throw will be coming for Jonathan Thomas, one of those 3 senior starters we talked about before. Free try is up, and this one will be good. And the lead for the Mustangs continues to grow at 53-48. Into the front court, Custard quickly has the ball back tapped away from behind, but they're going to call a foul on Thomas, and that'll be Jonathan Thomas's third. So 3 fouls on Thomas, who picked up 2 quickly in the first half, in the first quarter specifically. They'll send Custard to the line. Caden is 7 of 9 today. No, 4, 5, yeah, 7 of 9. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran with State Farm is there. Get a new home or auto quote with Joe by calling 859-234-3813. Joe always supports the Breds and Phillies. The first free throw is good by Custard to stop the bleeding and get Harrison County back to within 4 at 53-49. 2:55 left in the third quarter. Second free throw for Caden is no good. And the rebound is going to be a tie-up between Wilson and Thomas. Alternating possession arrow will keep the ball in the hands of the Thoroughbreds. Back into the game for more. Returning will be Bartlett, as Thomas will come out with those 3 personal fouls. From his own baseline, Smiley try to get the ball in bounds. And now a whistle, and we're going to have a grab, a holding call on Bartlett, and that'll be 3 on Bartlett. Actually, that's 4 on Bartlett, excuse me. 4 on Bartlett, and that will force Coach McGee to make a move. I know he wants Bartlett out there because of his size, but Forney will be coming in for him after this first free throw by Boyers. Boyers 1 for 2 from the line. Has 3 points, had not scored in the previous 2. Now the officials getting together. Well, you have a big group to feed. The Beast Pizza is great for birthdays and parties. Just dial 235-7627 right now. That's 235-SNAP. I'm not sure what the confusion is. If I listen, I can hear better. Now they're too far away. Mark Thomas, the official keeper of the clock, was the one that had the question. And it's now been resolved. Meanwhile, Jaden Boyers has been standing patiently at the foul line waiting for his 2 free throws. First one's on the way and off the front of the rim, no good. Back in the ball game, Forney returns for Moore. They'll come in for Bartlett with those 4 personal fouls. Harrison County down by 4. Presently, second free throw for Boyers is good. That'll bring the home team back to within 3 at 53-50. With 2:52 on the clock. With the ball coming up the floor will be Harrison, met by Smiley defensively. He'll drift to the right side, long range. Now makes a move into the paint, to the basket, layup good as nobody stepped in to take a charge. Golly, just step in there. You knew what he's going to do. Harrison County down by 5 once again at 55-50. 2:32 left, and now a bad pass inside and a steal by Moore. In the front court, Forney puts up a terrible shot. Rebound pulled down by Custard. Custard in the front court, lobs the ball to White, or make that Wilson. Wilson back up top to Caden once again. In front of the stable. He's picked up his dribble, gets the ball to Wilson, but now the whistle. Foul is going to be called on Leslie. That'll be Ellis Leslie. That'll be his first, sending Grubb back to the line where Braxton has 1 for 1. 2:08 on the clock now. Lamont LaRue comes over to ask Coach Brooks about what he wants him to do the next time the Breds go on defense. First free throw is good by Grubb. Gets the Breds back to within 4 at 55-51. 2:08 on the clock. Second free throw for the senior Grubb is off the front of the rim, no good. Long rebound will be picked up by Harrison. Harrison in the front court puts up an off-balance shot. I think he traveled, and he did. Too many steps that time for Harrison. The sophomore getting the bit in a hurry. Full court pressure being applied by the Mustangs as Grubb will inbounds the ball. Official waiting for Custard and Hall to stop pushing. Inbounds pass will come to Caden. Custard with the basketball. Now giving a message to his teammates up the floor. Across the timeline at the top of the key. They're all over him, no calls. Grubb at the far hash mark. Now we'll move in between the circles himself. Hands it off to LaRue. Damon has his pocket picked. Loose ball on the floor, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep the ball in Harrison County's hands. 1:39 on the clock. 55-51, the Mustangs lead. As checking back in will be Jonathan Thomas with those foul troubles. They've been here for farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741, or you can visit efarmcredit.com. From his own baseline, Smiley gets the ball down low to Wilson. Ball fake, and as he is about to go back up, he's fallen upon by Bruce Sweeney. That'll be Sweeney's second personal foul. So a lot of foul trouble creeping up on the Mustangs, and we still got a whole quarter plus 1:37 to go. Wilson 0 for 1 from the line tonight. He has 13 points, though. Another good offensive night for Garrett. First free throw is successful. Harrison back to within 3 at 55-52. With 1:37 left in the third. Second free throw is going to bounce in there as well. 6 second half points for Garrett. And Harrison County is back to within 2 at 55-53. 1:31 left. Oh, LaRue got away with a big time push right in front of us. With the basketball in the corner is Forney for a three-pointer. A high arcer is no good. And the rebound pulled down by Custard. Caden in the front court gets the ball back out front now, inside the center circle. Drifts to the right side, long range, being tracked by Thomas. Now Caden makes a move to the top of the key. There's a lot of hand checking going on by Thomas, but no call. Custard now at the right elbow, and we're going to have a foul called, I think, finally on Thomas. Yes. That'll be Jonathan Thomas's fourth, so Bartlett with 4, Thomas with 4, and Hall with 3. Custard at the line. He is 8 of 11 on the evening. 18 points for Custard as well. 1:01 on the clock. First free throw is going to bounce off. Daggone. Back in the game, Leslie returns for Louisville Moore, replacing Thomas, who will have a seat with those 4 personal fouls. Second free throw upcoming for Caden to try to make it a 1-point game, and he does. As Elijah Harris checks back in, Thoroughbreds down now 55-54. With the basketball, Davon Harrison. Harrison walking the ball up the floor. Met as he comes across the midcourt stripe by Harris. With the basketball drifting to the left side is Harrison. Now gets it in the hands of Leslie. Leslie fires a 3, in and out, no good. Grubb skies for the rebound for Harrison County, who now has a chance to retake the lead with 41 seconds left to go in the third. Across the timeline comes Harris. Harris races, now tries a pass, knocked away, and the loose ball picked up by Moore. As we come up the floor, we're going to have a foul on the trail by Elijah Harris, and that'll be Harris's 3rd personal. So we'll go and shoot a couple of free throws with 32 seconds left. Cynthia Hardee's wants you to visit them, breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South. The best burgers in town can be found at Hardee's in Cynthiana. Davon Harrison at the line. He is 2 for 3. Has 16 points, 8 of which have come here in the second, or make that the third quarter. First free throw is good. As Caden checks back in. 57-54 is your score. Harrison County down. 56-54. 56-54, I should say. Second free throw for Harrison is going to be in and out, no good. Oh, dang it. Rebound is going to be pulled in by Sweeney. With the basketball up top is Forney with 22 seconds left. Forney lobs the ball into the far corner to Hall. Hall underneath the basket, reverse layup is good. A dozen points for Deshaun Hall. Makes it 58-54, Moore with the lead. Just 7 seconds left. Custard forces up a shot, it's good for his 21st point. And a 3-quarter court shot at the buzzer is no good by Moore. So at the end of 3, your score, it's still anybody's ball game. Moore leads, though, by a margin of 58-56. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All right, as we get back to action, Harrison County right now down by a margin of just 2 points at 58-56. The Breds were outscored in that third quarter, however, 23-15. And that is why the Mustangs have a 2-point lead. And Moore will have the ball to begin the fourth quarter. It's been tight all the way. Neither team is led by more than 8. With the basketball, the inbounds pass comes to Forney. Forney guarded by Smiley. Takes a look to his right at Coach McGee before backing up inside the center circle to run the offense. Goes past Smiley. His shot's going to be blocked by Grubb, but I think they're going to call Braxton with a foul. Let's make for sure. It's going to actually be on Smiley, and that'll be Mason's first. 2-shot foul coming up for Forney. This will be Forney's first trip to the line tonight. Has 7 points, does the senior. First one's on the way and good. Extends his team's lead out to 3 at 59-56. Here in the early going of the fourth quarter. Second free throw by Forney is no good. But going up and getting the rebound is Deshaun Hall. Gosh, I hate that. You know, players are getting all tangled up, and they'll call a jump ball with the alternating possession arrow facing Harrison County's way. So Harris will inbounds the ball against full court pressure. Gets the ball to Custard. Harrison County with a 3-point deficit right now. Custard gets the ball in the front court to Harris. Right side, fires an open three for the tie. No good. Wilson, though, comes away with the rebound for the Breds. And now he'll have his pocket picked and will head the other direction. In the front court with the basketball is Forney. He'll get it to Leslie for an open three try. No good. The long rebound is going to be chased down by Braxton Grubb. 3 rebounds on the night for Braxton. And as he was trapped in the corner, he will call a timeout before turnover would have applied. We'll take it as well. 7:15 left to go. Your score, Moore 59, Harrison County 56. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. For Grubb. Number 25 eyes the bucket. Free throw up, free throw in there. And Harrison County is back to within 1 at 59-58. With the basketball up the floor comes Harrison. Harrison trying to get around Elijah Harris. Gets the ball down on the block to Deshaun Hall. His layup is no good. And going and getting that high rebound is Smiley. Into the front court come the Breds with a chance to retake the lead. We've had 6 ties and 4 lead changes already in the game. Pass to the far hash mark to Grubb. Grubb down on the baseline to Custard. Custard lobs the ball to Harris, fakes the three, moves to the elbow, fakes that shot, gets it up top to Smiley, whose shot is blocked, and the rebound brought down by Jonathan Thomas. Thomas gets the ball to Harrison, who scores the points and puts his team back out on top, 61-58, 6:21 left. Here's a shot put up no good by Custard, and as he tries to go get the rebound, he is going to be knocked down. Let's see what that foul is all about. And it's going to be on Jonathan Thomas, and that'll be Thomas's fifth. So Jonathan Thomas, who had an outstanding first 4 minutes of this game, was saddled with foul trouble the rest of the time, and fouls out with still 6:18 on the clock, and his team leading by just 3. Coming in to replace Thomas is Montrell Hambrick. He saw just a couple of minutes of work in the first half. From his own baseline after the common foul, Mason Smiley will try to get the ball in bounds. He does in the corner to Custard. Custard will bring the ball out front to reset the offense. Now the chess match begins between Coach Brooks and Coach McGee. Behind the back dribble by Custard. He'll dump it to the elbow to Wilson, who goes to the basket but misses the shot. Rebound by Grubb, puts it up and in. Nice job that time by Braxton. He has 5 rebounds here in the second half, and Harrison County is back to within 1 at 61-60. 5:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter. With the basketball near the center circle is Hall. Hall eyes down the defensive Wilson. Now kicks it in the corner to Hambrick, and now we're going to have a charge call on Deshaun Hall as he ran over Caden Custard. That'll be 4 fouls on Deshaun Hall. So Deshaun Hall and Jerry Bartlett each with 4 fouls. Thomas has already fouled out. 61-60, Harrison County down. Stockyards Bank and Trust has competitive home equity loans and home equity lines of credit for you. Ask a lender to learn more. Stockyards Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Had some moisture on the floor, on the corner. They'll get that taken care of. Robert Walker, Rabu, doing the honors. Now he'll give that towelette to Caden Custard, who will use his foot to guide the towel to get the moisture off of the floor. Phillies losing a tough one earlier today. They'll be back in action on Tuesday as they'll head to Boyle County for the Class 2A sectional, taking on the host Lady Rebels. That game can be heard on our app, where Ed Lewis will be calling the play-by-play. In fact, Ed will be with you for the next 3 Phillies games because of the conflict with the boys and the girls. All right, I think we're just about ready to go as we just got that moisture all taken up, mostly on the shoes of the athletes. Meanwhile, just to our right, Sweeney getting his hand taken care of by Kirsten Alexander, as he did something to his hand when he went up to block a shot. They've been working on it now for about 5 minutes. So I think they've just about got him taken care of. Not sure exactly what he did to himself, but still trying to fix it. As they're still trying to get the moisture off the floor with their shoes. Okay, now we're ready to go. 61-60. Moore leads over Harrison County with 5:38 left, but the Thoroughbreds will have the basketball. Custard gets the ball inbounds to Harris. Harris back to Caden. Custer with 21 points on the night. Now crosses the timeline where he's picked up defensively by Hall. Pass to the right side to Harris. Harris to the top of the key to Grubb. Thought about the 3 but brought it down. Now we'll back it back out again. Get the ball to Custard, who will reset the offense. No need to hurry. Still 5:16 left. To pass inside the center circle to Harris. Harris now to the far sideline to Wilson. Wilson spins around, being harassed by Hambrick. He'll get it back in between the circles to Grubb again. Grubb back to the right side where Caden Custard is now. And he'll bring it back to the midcourt circle to reset the offense. Custard gets the ball to Smiley, nearly taken away, and we're going to have a jump ball called as Jacob Forney diving after that loose ball, and the possession arrow will give the ball to Moore. So a wasted opportunity there. Gives the ball back to the Mustangs. And once again, just like before, there's a lot of moisture on the floor from where those two fellas hit the floor going after that loose ball. From the sideline at the midcourt stripe just in front of us, inbounding the ball will be Forney. And it looks like Bruce Sweeney is good to go whenever Coach McGee decides to let him back into the ball game. So now we're ready to go. Forney inbounds the ball to Harrison. Harrison takes a look over to Coach McGee before crossing the timeline on the right side. Going into the paint is Harrison, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound battled for and knocked out of bounds by Harrison County. So the Mustangs will maintain possession of the rock. 4:37 on the clock. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Hall. Deshaun Hall gets the ball from the official, gets it into the corner now to Forney. And now we're going to have a charge called. Using that elbow to block off down underneath the basket was Montrell Hambrick. That'll be Hambrick's second personal foul. So give the ball back to Harrison County. Breds still trailing by 1. Harris trying to get the ball inbounds to Custer, but now finds Wilson, who'll give it back to Elijah. Elijah racing up the floor, 3-on-2 break, but then the ball is taken away on a really nice defensive play by Harrison. Harrison in the front court. Euro step to the basket, shot good, and he's fouled, and he'll be going to the line for a three-point play, the old-fashioned way opportunity, as he puts his team up 63-60. With now 4:23 on the clock. That foul's on Wilson. That's Garrett's first. Harrison at the line tonight is 3 out of 5 and has 21 points, matching Caden Custard's game high. Free throw up and good. And that will put the Moore Mustangs back up by 2 possessions at 64-60. Into the front court with the basketball comes Custard. Dahl knocked away. Loose ball is picked up by Caden. Gets the ball to Grubb. Grubb goes to the block, and as he does, he's going to be fouled from behind by Bartlett. And if that is indeed Bartlett, that'll be 5 on him. So Bartlett becomes the second Mustang to foul out of the ball game. He'll do it with 4 minutes and 11 seconds still left on the clock, although his team is leading 64-60. Coming into the ball game will be Ellis Leslie, as Grubb will go to the foul line. Braxton is 4 out of 5 and has 8 points. Need these, Braxton. Senior towing the line as he gets the ball from the official. First free throw by number 25 is going to be good. He has 9 points now as the Thoroughbreds climb back to within 3 at 64-61. As we approach the midway point of this fourth quarter, the second free throw is off the front of the rim, no good. And coming down with the rebound will be Hambrick. He'll get the ball into the hands of Harrison. Across the timeline with his team up 64-61. Goes baseline, cut off by Harris. Now splits the defense, but misses the layup, and the rebound is going to be pulled in by Smiley. And here come the Thoroughbreds. Smiley in the front court in between the circles, lobs it to the far sideline near the hash mark to Grubb. He'll hand the ball to Custard. Custard drops the ball, loose ball on the floor, and we're going to have a whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Garrett Wilson. There'll be 3 fouls on Wilson. So give the ball back to Louisville Moore. Timeout Harrison County. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to go. Harrison County still down 64-61. They've been just out of reach of catching Moore here in the fourth quarter. But give credit to Moore for making the plays they've had to keep Harrison County from reaching them. Still a boatload of time. With 3:39 on the clock in the final game of this year's Joe Cochran at State Farm Insurance Harrison County Basketball Tip-Off Classic. Don't think we'll play in very many other tournaments that will have that long of a name. Find out the results of the wrestlers in their invitational. See how Harrison County did. Already out of the timeout, facing full court pressure will be Leslie. Leslie will find Forney. And now Forney will bring the ball up into the front court. Just now crossing the timeline, picked up by Smiley defensively. Forney on the right wing, now makes a move into the paint, spins, and it's going to be called, it will be a travel. I thought it should have been a charge, but they'll call a travel on Forney. That's now 16 turnovers on the day for Moore. Harrison County has turned the ball over 19 times. Facing full court pressure, Harris inbounds the ball to Wilson. Garrett takes a couple 3 dribbles before getting it back to Harris. Over on the other sideline, Custard is being tracked by Hambrick. Over on this side, Harris with the basketball, gets around Harrison. Now goes to the right elbow extended, gets it up top to Smiley, who will in turn give the ball to Wilson. Garrett with the basketball to the near side in front of his own bench, gets the ball to Smiley. And now as Smiley tries a pass, we're going to have a foul from behind on Hambrick, who is holding on to Caden Custard. And that'll be Hambrick's third. So even their bench people with foul trouble. 2-shot foul upcoming for Custard, who's had a difficult night for him. He is just 9 out of 13. 21 points for Caden as well. First free throw's on the way and bounces off. Wow. He's now missed his last 3 in a row. Second free throw upcoming to try to make it a 2-point game with 2:58 on the clock. Is on the way, and this one is also no good. Rebound by Wilson, put back in there. Garrett Wilson with the big offensive board, and Harrison County is back to within 1 at 64-63. 2:47 left to go. Here's a shot put up from 3-point range, no good by Louisville Moore, and on the rebound, we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow faces Harrison County's way. So the Thoroughbreds with a chance to retake the lead with 2:42 left. Facing full court pressure will be Harris. Now gets the ball from the official. Harris looking, gets the ball to Wilson. Wilson back to Elijah. Harris being followed up the floor by Hall. Hall a good defender. Harris gets the ball on the wing on the far side to Smiley in the corner now to Wilson. Don't have to hurry. Got time. From the left elbow, jump shot put up by Smiley is no good, but the long rebound comes all the way back out to Mason. He'll go to the foul line for a jump shot, no good. Rebound Harris, put back good, and Harrison County is back in the lead. Great play that time by Elijah on the putback. Harrison County up 65-64. As we come into the front court, a foul on Harrison. It's going to be on Harris. That'll be Elijah's, I think they said his third, but I think it might be his fourth. In any case, Moore hanging on to the ball. Forney inbounds the ball into the backcourt to Davon Harrison. Harrison looks over to Coach McGee as we hit the 2-minute mark. And now we're going to have a whistle away from the basketball and an offensive foul against Forney. So give the ball back to the Thoroughbreds with that 1-point lead. Have the luxury of being able to maybe run some clock here. Both teams in serious foul trouble. More so than Harrison, but we've got our own people in foul trouble. Harris inbounds the ball this time to Custard, knocked away and stolen. And now we're going to have a foul called on Harrison County's Custard. For Caden, that'll be his fourth. 2-shot foul upcoming for Forney, with his team presently trailing by 1 with 1:59 left on the clock. Forney 1 for 2 from the line, that coming here in the fourth quarter. Both teams, in case you're wondering, have 2 timeouts left. First free throw is no good by Forney. Harrison County still up by 1, but Forney can tie the score if he can make this second free throw. Forney, a senior. Second free throw for number 2 is on the way, and this one will be good, and we are retied this time at 65 to 65. With the basketball up the floor comes Custard, crosses the timeline. Now circles back around to near the near side of the midcourt circle. Custard now makes his move to the left elbow, and he's going to be fouled by Hambrick, and that'll be 4 on Montreal Hambrick. Moore has already had 2 players foul out. Now Hambrick and Hall each have 4. 65-65 your score. Free throws upcoming for Caden Custard, who has missed his last 4 in a row and is just 2 out of 6 from the charity stripe here in the second half, and is 9 for 15 overall. Free throw wise, does have 21 points. First free throw by the senior with 1:42 on the clock is on the way, and good. There you go. Gets him off the snide. As coming back in the game will be Sweeney. Harrison County back out on top, 66 to 65. 1:42 on the clock. Second free throw for Custard is on the way to the bucket, and good. Harrison County's lead grows to 67 to 65. Timeout called by the Thoroughbreds. We will take it as well. 1:42 left to go. Your score, Harrison County 67, Moore 65. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All righty, out of the timeout. Harrison County with a 2-point lead at 67 to 65 with just a minute 42 left to go. The Mustangs of Moore will have the basketball, trying to tie this game up or go ahead with a 3-pointer, although they have made just 1 tray in the game. That's just not their forte. With the basketball up the floor comes Harrison. Harrison guarded by Harris, moves in front of his own bench. Now gets it back to Leslie. Leslie back to Harrison. Harrison drives to the left elbow. Now drives down to the block, gets a pass to Sweeney, but it's going to be knocked away and stolen by Custard. 7 second half turnovers by Moore. Harrison up by 2 with the basketball. Now we can be patient. Pass to the far sideline to Harris, long range. Harris picked up defensively by Harrison, moves into the paint, gets it down on the block to Grubb. Grubb fires it back up near the timeline to Custard. Harrison kind of milking the clock, but now a steal by Leslie in the front court. He'll get the ball down low and into the hands of Hall, who puts it up and in. And once again, we are tied, this time at 67. You just can't afford to be too loose with that basketball. Under a minute to go. Harrison County with the ball. Custard up the far sideline and into the front court, where he's picked up by Forney. 38 seconds left, 67-67 tie. With the basketball, Custard now will back up. And in front of his bench, we're going to have a 5-second call as he never penetrated. So on the turnover, give the ball back to Moore. And now a timeout called by the Mustangs. We'll take it as well. 30 seconds left to go. We're all knotted up at 67. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports.
You think a cardiac event will never happen to you, but when it does, you need quality
All righty, as we get back to action, off the turnover, the Moore Mustangs will have the ball. 30 seconds left. Both teams in the bonus. Both teams with just one timeout left as well. And both teams in foul trouble. Inbounding the ball will be Forney. We'll see what Coach McGee has drawn up. Forney inbounds the ball to Hall. Hall, who made the shot that tied this game up just about a half a minute ago. Just to the right side, gets it up top to Forney, who almost fell down. Forney on the left side, long range, 15 seconds on the clock. Forney reverses to the right side where he'll get it up top in between the circles to Hall. Hall being tracked by Wilson. Hall in the paint, ball knocked away. Loose ball picked up by Harrison County, but then restolen by Leslie. And then he throws the ball away himself. And we're going to overtime as neither team able to get off a shot. 67-67 your score. Extra basketball coming your way right after this. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All right, here in the very first ever meeting between Harrison County and Moore on the basketball floor. Overtime. This will be the first overtime game for Harrison County since the first round of the 2022 regional tournament when we fell in double overtime to Bracken County 63-60. Over the years, Harrison County has played 83 previous overtimes but have a record of 35-48. Jumping center will be Caden Custard for Harrison. Across the midcourt stripe will be Bruce Sweeney for the Mustangs. Ball is up and tap controlled by Moore. Forney goes down to the block. His shot too long, and with the rebound is going to be Garrett Wilson. Garrett's really had a nice night tonight. Into the front court with the basketball is Custard. Trying to get away from the defense of Forney. Moves to the left elbow. Kicks it to Smiley for three. No, too long. And the ball's knocked out of bounds by the Mustangs. So Harrison County will maintain possession. Coach McGee saying that didn't happen, but it did. We had a better shot of it than he did. Smiley from his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass. Mason looking. Now the ball knocked away. Loose ball picked up by Wilson. And now it's going to be retrieved by Devon Harrison, who puts up a shot and it's good. Andy is fouled here in the extra period and will go to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. 24 points now for Devon Harrison. Makes it 69-67. With 3:28 left in the extra period. Devon Harrison in the ball game has been 3 for 5 from the charity stripe. Make that 4 for 6, 4 for 6. Trying to put his team up by 3. Free throws up, and it is good. Give him 25 points, and the Mustangs a 70-67 lead. With the basketball on the far sideline in the front court comes Harris. Harris goes between the circles, lobs it to Wilson. Wilson spins, now gets it back and throws the ball away. Loose ball picked up by Harrison, goes to the basket. His off-balance shot is no good, and Garrett Wilson is there for another rebound. In the front court, here's a pass drop down to Smiley. His shot blocked out of bounds, however, and a foul, I think, is going to be called as well, and it's going to be on Sweeney. Sweeney pitched that in between our cheerleaders. They'll send Smiley to the line. This will be Mason's first trip to the line tonight on the year. Just 2 for 2. Has 6 points, both coming from threes in the first half. First one's on the way and bounces off the front of the rim, no good. He'll have another, however, to try to draw his team back to within 2 with 3:03 on the clock here in our first overtime. Senior's second free throw is on the way, and this one is also no good, but the long rebound is going to be picked up by Braxton Grubb. Grubb in the corner has his pass knocked out of bounds, but Harrison County still with possession. From the corner, there by the stable, inbounding the ball will be Harris. Harris waits for his people to get where they're supposed to be. Now inbounds it to Wilson. Wilson goes between the circles, gets it to Grubb, long range. Grubb picks up his dribble, hands it off to Harris. Harris drives in the paint, down low, picks it up and good off the glass. Nice drive that time by Elijah as Harrison County gets back to within 1 at 70 to 69. Now Sweeney goes to the basket. It rolls off the flange, no good. Rebound by Elijah Harris in the front court. Harris off the glass, good, yes! Harrison County retakes the lead on that strong move to the basket by Elijah Harris at 71 to 70. 2:18 on the clock here in our first overtime. Harrison County back in the lead with the basketball. Harrison spins to the block, shot off the glass, no good. Elijah Harris with the rebound, and up the floor come the Thoroughbreds. Down underneath the basket, Harris's shot is no good, but he's fouled, and Harris will go to the line for 2. Big players come up big in big games. Elijah Harris, the big player tonight, fouls on Deshaun Hall, and that will be his 5th. The 3rd member of the Moore team that is fouled out in this game. Hall fouls out with 2:01 left and his team trailing by a score of 71 to 70. Coming into the ball game was Hambrick. Elijah Harris at the line. He's 1 for 2 tonight. First free throw is no good. He will have another, however, to try to make it a 2-point game with just a tick over 2 minutes left to go. Forney and Sweeney switch sides for Moore. They're around the paint. Harris eyes the bucket. Second free throw is no good either, but waiting in to get the rebound is Garrett Wilson. Another big rebound for him, but then the ball's knocked away and stolen by Moore. Into the front court with the basketball. On the left side, a 3 by Forney, in and out. Rebound on the floor, and we're going to have a foul called on Harrison County. It's going to be on Garrett Wilson. That'll be Garrett's 4th. So Custard and Wilson each with 4 fouls apiece. And a 3-point play the old-fashioned way coming up for Bruce Sweeney, who has 8 points altogether. He's 2 for 4 from the line tonight. 1:47 on the clock. Free throw up, free throw off to the left, no good. Rebound pulled in by Custard. Custard in the front court. His team down by 1, gets the ball to Smiley. Smiley now with the basketball, and we're going to have a foul called on Moore. Foul is going to be assessed to Sweeney. That'll be 4 on Sweeney. 4 on Sweeney. Going to the line. No, it is 5 on Sweeney. 4 Mustangs have fouled out now. 8 points for Sweeney in the game, but will have to have a seat with 1:33 left in overtime and his team leading 72 to 71. And now we'll have a question at the scorer's table. Caden Custard at the line. Let's see, all together, he's been up and down as far as makes and then misses and then makes again. But overall, 7, 8, 9, 10, he is 11 of 17. Checking back in will be Hambrick. And Moore, if they have someone else foul out, is going to have to go deep on their bench. Hambrick has 4 himself. And now coming in will be Brandon Williams, a 6'3 sophomore. So Brandon Williams making his first appearance with Caden Custard at the line with a chance to both tie this game and give his team the lead. We've had 8 ties and 6 lead changes in this exciting game here on the Hilltop. Custard with 23 altogether. First free throw is going to roll in there good. We are knotted up once again, this time at 72-72 with 1:33 left. Second free throw upcoming for Caden. It's on the way, and this one is good as well. Harrison County back out on top. Timeout called by the Thoroughbreds as well. And it is going to be a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. 1:33 left to go in overtime. Harrison County leads 73-72. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, out of the timeout. Harrison County leads 73-72 with 93 seconds left. And the Mustangs will have the basketball. Full court pressure being applied by the Thoroughbreds. So a switch up by Moore as they'll have Hambrick take it out of bounds. So Hambrick with the ball, inbounds it into the hands of Forney. Forney with 4 of his teammates on the bench having fouled out. We'll get it on the right side, long range to Harrison. Harrison backs up near the center circle, looks over to Coach McGee to see what play he wants to run. And now Harrison just backing up. Goes inside the center circle now, gets it on the wing, long range to Forney. Forney crosses over his dribble from the right elbow, jump shot good. Jacob Forney with a big shot there, puts his team back out on top, 73-74. 1:02 left on the clock. Into the front court with the basketball comes Caden, a leaner from 10 off the glass and good. And Harrison County is back out on front by a score of 75-74. 47 seconds left to go. Harrison County on defense. In the corner, Hambrick has it. He'll get it back into the hands of Leslie. Leslie to the timeline to Harrison. Clock down to 36. Harrison up 75-74. Mustangs with the basketball. On the near side, Harrison has it long range. Harrison against the defense of Elijah Harris. Moves to the elbow. Splits the defense. His shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul on Elijah Harris. Harris picking up his 4th personal foul. So now 3 Thoroughbreds. Custard, Harris, and Wilson all with 4 fouls apiece. But first things first, a couple of free throws upcoming for the Moore Mustangs to try to both tie this game and give the lead to our visitors with 24 seconds left. Davon Harrison from the line is 5 of 7. Has 25 points, including 3 here in the extra period. First free throw by the sophomore point guard is on the way and off the flange, no good. He will have another, however, to try to tie this game up. Checking in for more is Julian Duliba. Julian Duliba, a 6'4 junior, making his first appearance in the game. He's a big kid. Second free throw is good, and we're tied at 75-75. Timeout called by Moore. We'll take it as well. 24 seconds left to go. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All righty, here we go. Out of the timeout, 75 to 75. We've had 10 ties and 9 lead changes in this game in which neither team is led by more than 8. It's been close the entire contest. Harrison County with the basketball. 4 players have fouled out for Moore. Hambrick has 4 fouls. 3 Thoroughbreds have 4 fouls. Custard looking against full court defense, gives the ball to Wilson. Wilson back to Harris. Let's see what Coach Brooks has drawn up. Both teams have 1 timeout. Harris being guarded by Harrison. With 13 seconds left, gives the ball to Custard, who is pushed down by Forney going for the steal. There'll be 3 fouls on Jacob Forney. We'll also send Caden back to the line. Caden has made his last 4 in a row and is now 13 for 19 overall. Has 27 points, his season's high after getting 26 in each of Harrison County's first 2 games. 10 seconds on the clock. The first free throw is good. Harrison County goes back out on top, 76 to 75. Second free throw upcoming with 10 seconds left. Some substitutes coming in for Moore, including Brandon Williams. Second free throw for Caden is good. Harrison County leads by a score of 77 to 75. Into the front court, a timeout called by Coach McGee. We'll take it as well. 6 seconds left to go in overtime. Your score, Harrison County 77, Moore 75. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All righty. 6 seconds left to go in overtime. The Mustangs have the ball. They'll inbounds it from the sideline. It'll be Leslie who will do the honors. Look for him to try to get the ball to either Harrison or Hall. Leslie looking to get the ball inbounds. Still looking, gets the ball to Forney. Forney backs up for a 3 at the buzzer. Good! Oh my gosh. A huge 3, and actually there's going to be 0.6 seconds left on the clock. But Jacob Forney, his second tray of the game, puts his team up 70. Oh, was it 2 or 3? I thought it was a 3. Full timeout. We'll wait on the decision of the officials, but I think it was a 3-pointer. 2.6 seconds on the clock. Timeout has been called by Harrison County. We'll keep it right here so we don't miss anything. I know Coach McGee is wondering about putting those 2 seconds back on. But what a clutch shot by the senior Jacob Forney to make the score 78 to 77 in favor of the Mustangs. With 2.6 seconds left, they lead by 1. That was our 10th lead change of the ball game. 2.6 may not sound like a lot of time, but you get it in the hands of the right person and they could get off a shot. That's why it was important to change that number on the clock side from 0.6 to 2.6. That delineation there on my chart. It's not 26 seconds left, it's 2.6. So out of the timeout, let's see what Coach Brooks has figured will be the winning shot of this game. or at least to have somebody get a foul. Of course, Coach McGee is telling his team, stay away from him. Do not pick up a cheap foul. So right now, 3 Thoroughbreds lining the timeline as Braxton Grubble inbounds it from the baseline. Grubb looking, gets the ball to Custard in the front court. Caden drops the ball, loose ball on the floor, picked up by Wilson, and that will be the ball game. The Mustangs of Moore High School have come here to the Hilltop and won by a final score of 78-77 in overtime. Harrison County now drops to 2-1 on the year, while Moore improves to 1-2 after just a fantastic ball game. It's a shame that either team had to lose, especially it being Harrison County that lost the game. But a good learning experience for our guys. The game was tight all the way. As I said, neither team led by more than 8, and we ended up with 10 ties and 10 lead changes. Wow. All right, we'll ask you to join us now for our post-game show. We'll go over all the individual numbers as well as the team stats, have a chat with a member of the Harrison County coaching staff, as well as name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. All that coming up after this timeout. But once again, in the 5th and final game of the Joe Cochran at State Farm Tip-Off Classic, in overtime. Moore 77, I'll make that 78. Moore 78, Harrison County 77. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports.